Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching the All Tanks, All Tens Mega Series, where we take every tank spec from character creation to doing all tens in the War Within Season 3. In this episode, we're going to be finishing up the Brewmaster. That is right, the Brewmaster is done. 4 episodes per character, and this is the 4th one for this one. The only thing we have left to do at plus 10 is the EcoDome Alani. I streamed all of this, and there should be a WOD up before this video is even out of me doing all these 10s. They were all pretty freaking smooth, honestly. I don't recall really having any issues on any of them particularly, except for our first attempt at an Arakara 10 was absolute misery because we had a warrior that was getting boosted and no one informed me of this, and I only realized really roughly after the after the first boss. They were doing no damage. When I inspected them, I saw they had an intellect two-hander as a Fury Warrior. One of their 2 weapons was an intellect weapon, and all of their gear was 603 item level at the most from what I saw, so it was a bit of a toughie. I don't know. I mean, usually when you're boosting someone, people are at least generous enough to type in helping a friend. So I've now learned to check whether or not someone's being boosted in a run when I apply to it. Kind of wild to me that you would boost someone as 2 DPS and then you force the healer and the tank to boost you. It's kind of insane because the pugs were me and the healer. So it was a crazy situation. And then when I tried to vote abandon after we failed the second boss, they held me hostage, so I left. Luckily I didn't get the deserter flag, but that is wild shit, my friends. That is wild shit. You can see all of it in the VOD. I was pretty salty about it, but after that I shut up, locked in, and 2-starred the Arakara and a couple of other runs as well. Oh, sorry. My voice is failing, so I just sometimes it just clamps up. My throat just seizes up when I'm speaking early in the morning, and it just really annoys me. It's like in editing, I'm like, what do I do here? Anyway, what I'm meant to do now is the EcoDome Alani, so let's just jump into it, honestly. I'm going to try and find one at plus 10. EcoDome Alani, like so, and there's only one available with this person who has 661 rating and has cleared an EcoDome at plus 10. That looks, what's the word? Fucking sus. What it looks like. Whatever. You know what? Let's apply and just find out. There's some other ones popping up, but I'm just going to apply, and I'm pretty sure that my shaman friend here is going to be very excited to have me. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's just he invited 2 mages. 2 mages, a shaman, and this is going to be interesting. This may make this interesting. He is inside of a fungal folly, and we don't get to see their item level because they probably don't have details. They also don't have Raider IO. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little nervous doing this. I'm going to inspect this person if the game would actually allow me to. There we go. What are we working with here? Okay. They don't have agility gear. That is already an advantage they have over the other person that was being boosted in that one run. It looks like they actually have some decent gear. Fully upgraded Reshi wraps. Okay, that has put me at ease to some extent, but we're gonna see what ends up happening here. Let us teleport to EcoDome Alani and find out. All right, and here we go with a Pulsar Tyrannical Fortified EcoDome Alani, also known as the Danny Dungeon. So, first pull is gonna be hella big. I'm gonna ping that I'm going all the way to there, and hopefully people realize that this means they need to let me gather the mobs. If they don't let me gather the mobs, what ends up happening is they die to aggro. All right, people are being hit by things, but not by melee attacks. I don't think. Never mind. It is melee attacks. Okay. We're going to stun everything here. We failed to do so before the mites managed to cast their stuff. I think it was some healing aggro that went out because it was the healer getting hit from what I could see. But we're going to try and keep these things in the earthquakes, keep ourselves alive, and that is the best we can do right now. Gonna paralysis one of these. Do need some kicks to go out. 2 mages though, slightly slower kicks. Priest can't kick. Shaman should be on top of the kicks, but we'll see what we can do here. Paralysis not available. We're just gonna have to kind of deal with this. All right, let's use Neo Zao now. Earthquakes are kind of helping out a little bit. I'm going to bounce this just to kind of try to reduce the number of gorges that are going out. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Paralysis on this one is still not available. I'm not certain what to do. It feels like there's not many kicks going out. Some of these mites have a lot of stacks of this buff. Okay, some CCs going out. Paralysis might go out. We have a lot of stacks now. They didn't get prolonged. They didn't seem to get prolonged. One of these is about to die, and then the other one, this is going to be bad. I'm going to paralysis this. I'm purely focusing on keeping us from dying. Yeah, we have 10 stacks of the thing because things died at the same time. There weren't enough kicks. I need to revise this pull. It doesn't seem to be good for pugs. There is a pull where you can just avoid all of those and get percent elsewhere, because these guys are just miserable to deal with, it looks like. So that is something I need to do better in future runs. But the group just kind of blasted. Their DPS was a bit too hard to stop at that point. Okay, I'm gonna look to stabilize here, smash these guys, and then zap. Both of those are coming over. Okay, weapons of order are gonna go out. Gives me another one of these to slam down. By these, I mean a keg smash. Okay, no casters in this group. This should be significantly more chill. So I think we're gonna work just fine. Okay, keep those purifying brews rolling. I do have, if need be, a black ox brew to use for this, but I think I'm kind of chilling. I'm gonna use celestial infusion here. And then almost a 30 million stagger clearing like 16 million or so stagger. It's pretty nice. Everyone is ranged, so I'm gonna have to run out to range to get my balls touched. I don't really like that, but hopefully we can take care of that. Okay, earthquake's kind of being wasted by that, but I can't do much if nobody else is. Okay, and this person standing on the stairs and not getting the orb touched. Oh no. A bit of a buff on the mobs, but I think it's livable. I don't think it's going to be an issue. All right, we're going to touch a death one of, actually we're not, because it's on cooldown. I was going to say we're going to touch a death one of these guys just to clear some stagger, but it doesn't seem to be an issue. We might need a bit of mana here. Yes, the priest is grabbing a bit of mana. I'll give them movement speed so they can join us quickly, and then I'm going to go in. I don't know if they'll make use of that movement speed, but hopefully people don't stand this far away, because if they do that, what's going to happen is the mobs are going to keep jumping off to the side instead of stacking. I'm going to ping on you to go here. Yes, stack up. There you go. Very nice. We're going to AoE over here. Now people need to go clear these, or not clear these, but drop these, ideally where the adds are going to be spawning. So that's good. We're going to drop a little bit of an off heal here on our healer. I keep him alive. He keeps us alive. I say he because I just don't know, but could be she. Could be them. I don't know. This boss is at least relatively chill. Luckily, with all of the DPS being ranged, it should be pretty easy to sort of deal with the adds that as they spawn in. Everyone can usually reach them. Sometime with melee, it's a little bit annoying. Looks like people are going in and taking care of it. We are in melee range. There's no one else in melee range, so it's not like there's something that can happen. We're going to go like this, and then these I'm going to smack. Okay, a knock up and a stun. Hopefully people switch over to the other side now. Smack him. Yes, there we go. Okay, we managed to. I had to even go quiet there for a second just to focus on how I'm gonna execute this and make sure that they don't do their thing. You come here. People need to stack up. They're kind of standing off to the side. I guess it's a group full of ranged, you know. They don't really care where they're standing. They don't need to be in melee. But then again, even if it was melee, could be all around the boss after the intermission where he does the thing, because they need to make sure that they move over to the mobs to hit them. Anyway, group's doing well. The single target DPS is looking juicy, I think. We've kind of just stomped this boss into the ground. And collect this. Make sure that this person doesn't get hit by moving back in. All the balls are touched. Very good. Make sure you touch your balls during this affix. And in real life, make sure you touch your balls and check yourself before you wreck yourself, you know? You gotta make sure there's no lumps on there. We're World of Warcraft gamers. Honestly, all of us are getting to that age where that is a concern. So, touch your balls, man. I'm sorry. Is this the place to be talking about these things? I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and smack the sentinel over here. Then we're gonna smack these guys. And we're gonna smack these guys, taunt this, zap this, and exploding keg should get aggro for this. And there we go. Everything is grouped. We're gonna paralysis this so it stays stacked. I'm gonna look for a kick on this. This is more important than the other guy. Okay, and I think here I'm now safe from most of these mobs. I'm gonna have to clear stagger here in a second. I'm gonna drop in New Zhao. He'll help us a little bit with the stagger and whatnot. Keep us a little bit more safe. Sentinel is that was a bit of a waste of a touch of death because he died so quick there near the end. I'm gonna try and keep these guys in this earthquake that I see on the ground. It makes a big difference. It helps out the shaman quite a bit. We're going to finish these guys off, and then we're going to take care of all of it. Having all the range, you would think that people would just... Where you going, huh? Where you going? Not that way. I don't know why I did that, because all of my DPS are ranged. I'm just so not used to having to worry, or having to not worry about melee DPS and being able to hit the boss. I'm just so used to, like, okay, there's melee. I got to make sure that they can hit the boss, the mobs, whatever. I'm going to have to wait for this patrol because I need these mobs. I don't want to pull without the phase blades. Shit patrol, sorry. All right, we should be able to clear this. We're going to spin for initial aggro. Once they're all stacked up, we're going to smack them. We're going to taunt this guy, make sure we have aggro on him. And this is as far as I'm willing to take this. I don't need to pull more than this. The sentinels are difficult enough. And the mobs coming up do a lot of tank damage. We're going to kick this guy, make sure that it doesn't hit us with the arcing zap. And that should be pretty much it. We're just looking at these rune stalkers. They're going to be a little bit annoying because everyone's all over the place, but we should be okay. We're going to use a big old self heal, clear a bunch of stagger, and then we're going to use celestial infusion. I should be kind of safe here for a good long while. Frontal goes out. Nobody else can get hit because I'm pointing it at the wall and all of my DPS are ranged. Very nice. Doing a bit of self healing here. I'm going to move out just to make sure that these are touched, and then we can sort of do our thing. Looks like everyone is looking to be over there, or like really far away. I don't understand why that's happening, but it's not a big deal. Would be ideal to have these guys sort of not do that, because then these guys stay a bit more stacked up. If you're close, they teleport close, right? Because they teleport behind you. I'm going to touch a death this guy real quick, and then hopefully keep people kill this one. Look at these phase blades. I think they're the single worst mob in here for aggro, honestly, because they just teleport. They just straight up just teleport right away. Like if you have aggro on them, they'll teleport to you, and then they're gonna like insta snap aggro to someone who has like healing aggro or whatever. It's really annoying to deal with, honestly. Here I have to be careful about my own HP. I gotta make sure I clear stagger when it's worth clearing stagger, since I will keep getting a bunch more stagger. Arcing zaps are getting close to being cast, but it looks like we are handling all of that. I am going to grab this orb because nobody else is bothering to, and it makes a big difference whether you grab one of the 5 affixes or not, or affix debuffs, because the mobs will get buffed up quite a bit, and I'm already kind of getting my you know, butthole flossed by these mobs. Again, we're left with 2 rune stalkers because they keep porting all over the place. We're going to go ahead over here, make sure we have the initial aggro, and then we can dash over here. We have this aggro, smack them, and we should be okay. We have plenty of little orbs on the ground that can help us heal up. And I think I'm going to stack up over here and start clearing this stagger. That's one of them. Here's the other one. They're getting supernova or whatever the heck that is. Gravity flux. I don't know. It's an arcane mage thing. A zap goes out because probably some kicks were wasted into the CC, but that's okay. I'm going to try and collect some of these orbs. I'll make sure someone collects my orb, and then we can move on over here. Quite a bit of stagger here. I'm gonna, oh, somebody did kick it. Nice. Okay, I wasted my kick trying to do it at the same time. That's all right. A little bit flustered here because everyone's all over the place. And it's hard, like these mobs keep jumping around. I can't do anything about it. With that done, I do believe with this pull we can go into boss with this group, and then it's pretty much straightforward for the rest of the dungeon. We don't need to really do much else. Okay, so keg smash on these guys, keg smash on these guys. Make sure I kick this guy in the nose, and we're gonna kick this guy, and hopefully somebody kicks the far stalker. I'm gonna use a defensive here while I gather this up. I'm gonna bounce this. Hopefully somebody realizes that they can kick it. Okay, it's gonna be me. There we go. I got it kicking. All the mages too busy casting. It does suck that they have to stop casting to interrupt, so that's probably one of the reasons they don't do it as often. But it's a far stalker zap. Maybe we should take some time to do that. We're gonna paralysis this rune stalker because that way he stays stacked. People are spinning around each other over there trying to get the affix done. I love that. All right, can I touch a deathless before it jumps away? Yes, I can. Now it's just boss time, and we can blast off. I'm going to ping that I'm going to take it here. There we go. The reason I do that is because the boss will inevitably go here after he teleports. So it keeps people close to the boss, and that way they can do the mechanic immediately. I don't have touch of death here, but I am doing a fair bit of damage. So I'm going to try and stack up on this with the boss. Maybe get some cleaving in. We're going to try and kill this javelin. These need to die a little bit quicker, but I guess it's hard for... It's 2 arcane mages. Okay, our team comp is kind of garbage, to be honest with you. But yeah, with 2 arcane mages, might be a little bit difficult to actually switch. Right, so that might be part of the reason this whole thing's happening. We're gonna try and get over here. It looks like we're okay. There's one on me. I'm just gonna stand over here. It doesn't matter if I get hit twice. It should not be an issue for me. Oh, lust gets popped. I love to see it. I'm just gonna make sure I collect the orbs, and maybe the healer collects the orbs here, so people can blast into the extra damage phase of this, which is wonderful. Good chunk of damage went down. Lots of earthquakes. You can see the ground underneath. Looks like, I don't know, Deathwing came through, but we are looking good right now. Rift Claws goes out. I'll use a defensive. It's whatever. I just don't use defensives on this class because it's so beefy all the time, at least for the content I'm doing. So I really like that, actually. We're going to use Exploding Keg here. try and get these javelins off. We're going to touch of that this javelin. No, we're not. The javelin? I don't know what a javelin is, but I would have touched it if I could have. Something prevented me from doing so. Probably just globals, to be honest. All right, they're saying stay boss. We can stay boss. That's fine with me. But these guys blown up, so we're kind of chilling. Sorry, I didn't mean to move that on top of you. There we go. That guy's dead. We're gonna make all the orbsies touch. Self-heal a little bit. Healer tops me off, and we're good to go. All right, we're gonna skip this first pack because it's just 2 mobs, and they're both annoying to drag. Well, the pack speaker's annoying to drag, but the phase blade's fine. I'm gonna ping that I'm going over here so people know that I'm doing so. I'll get initial aggro here, and then we're going to get initial aggro here. Weapons of Order is gonna go out. We're gonna zap this guy. I'm going to use exploding keg right here. We're going to bounce this guy over, and now we're looking for the far stalker interrupt. If I need to, I will dash over. There we go. I do need to. It's really painful, and we have erratic ritual coming up, so we got to make sure that we take care of that far stalker interrupt. Otherwise, it may just haunt us. All right, erratic ritual did go out. People did survive because the healer's popping off. Nearly 3 million HPS at the moment. That is beautiful. I don't care so much about the bolts because I want to kick the far stalker. The far stalker is what makes it scary. We have so much prio damage. It's kind of ridiculous. The pack speaker's already dead because the mages were like, yeah, that guy. And that's it. That's all they need to do. That's kind of nice. That's also helped probably with the sentinels and not making them as annoying, but with having a full range group minus the tank, it's kind of nice on the sentinels because nobody's really standing in the puddles. Although it does force all the range to keep moving constantly. That is it for this pull. I'm going to ping that I'm going here. So I'm going to smack this, kick it. Okay, Shaman kicks it for me. Should have saved my kick for here. Kaboom. Okay, exploding keg. Mage kicks one of these. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Wonderfully grouped. If anyone has enchanting here, that would go crazy because we could activate this and stun all of these mobs, or at least part of them. I'm not really sure how the stun works, if I'm going to be honest with you, because I've used it on my warrior has enchanting, and I've used it on the warrior, and sometimes mobs get stunned, sometimes they don't get stunned. I'm gonna ping that I'm going here, but I'm gonna do it a little bit late so that people can see that I'm still grouping. Ooh, never mind. I'm not doing it late. I'm gonna ping that I'm staying here because I accidentally pulled a whole extra group. We have a rune stalker that dashed very close to the rest of them. I need to actually take care of myself. I'm gonna use a defensive for once. Paralysis on this guy. I don't want arcing zap to go through. There are multiple kicks going that need to be handled here, but we seem to be doing okay. Let's use a Celestial Infusion. I can get this kick in, then the Far Stalker will have to, or this Far Stalker will have to get kicked. I'm going to try and collect these orbs. People are kind of running in ways that prevent me from doing so, but it's all right. I'm quick, and I think this is sort of stable. Sort of stable now. We're just trying to make sure that these rune stalkers don't pull things for us. I might have to pull some extra shit to make up for the fact that I didn't pull this group because the pack speaker gives so much %, but I did pull some other things that give sort of good % as well, so I don't know. We'll see. We might just have to do it after the last boss because this did not go according to plan. Arcing Zap goes out, but it doesn't kill anyone because there was no other damage happening. It's not that big of a deal when you don't have the pack speaker doing the AoE. This is a bit of a shit show with full ranged, if I'm going to be honest with you, especially full range that never stacks on anything. Oh man. But I guess we got that done. I'm going to ping that I'm going down here, and I'm going to go grab these guys. Hopefully somebody manages to kick the guy in the back that needs to be kicked. Ritualist getting some love from my teammates, but I don't know what to do about that. We're going to bounce him. We're going to use a big defensive here, and kicks did go out. We get the kick on the zap. Everything's beautiful and as it should be. All right, this is a hell of a pull. The erratic ritual itself does a lot of damage, and with these guys jumping out to the side, it's kind of difficult for me to sometimes get a kick on them. They also kind of live for longer because they keep stepping, like they go over there to where the mage is, and then the earthquakes are not dealing damage to them. And the mages are sort of single target focused because they're arcane, both of them. So some interesting situations arose from this, but I did my best to try and keep things stacked and in the earthquake so we can keep AoEing them. But honestly, there's only so much I can do. I'm going to just drag this Far Stalker into the next group. Actually, no, I'm going to touch a death it so it dies at roughly the same time. And then this does not give us %. Yeah, I definitely needed to group that pack speaker. I'm gonna ask the group if they want % after or now, because what I'm curious about right now is whether they'll have cooldowns. I'm looking at cooldowns. Cooldowns are kind of coming up here. If they use their cooldowns right now to kill this thing, to finish off the pack speaker, which I don't see the surge, I don't see the touch being used, the sentence being held. I think it's a pull the boss kind of angle, because I'm seeing some cooldowns ready for that. So let's finish off the pack speaker here, mid AoE. Healer's looking good on the mana. We're gonna go boss, because I'm looking at the cooldowns that are available, and our mage just popped all of them. We don't have bloodlust, but that's because we're just going through the dungeons so quickly. So it's not like it's not a mistake, it's just that we're too fast, and that's okay. And the shaman had ascendance, which he popped as well at the beginning. So we're definitely getting good value out of going boss first rather than going trash, because then we have cooldowns for the boss. You could argue I could have maybe gotten my whatchamacallits. I could have gotten my lust or the lust back by the time we were at the boss, but I don't think that was the case. Our healer seems to have been hit by the hit their clone with the circle. Trying to collect all the orbsies, bit of a pain in the booty hole. Okay, there we go. I had to shut up to try and see like whose orbs can I grab. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna grab one at a time, and I'll only grab the one. Okay, we're gonna grab this one now and this last one. And the idea was only to grab the ones that are in the beam. That's kind of optimal, because then you get the highest uptime with the most damage amp, right? If you just rush to collect all three of them, you better have very bursty cooldowns or whatever, like a paladin or something, because the buff doesn't last for very long. But if you have like a sort of constant damage profile, collecting them one by one does actually help quite a bit. We're gonna go ahead and heal our healer. He can heal the rest. I'm not getting much stagger here because the boss doesn't really do anything to me, but it's all right. Shaman didn't manage to collect the thing, but he is being kept alive by our healer. I'm just gonna step away so people can do their thing, and then I'm going to step back and collect some orbs along the way. Okay, there we go. I know I'm moving the boss, but nobody's using any zones type things. They're just blasting it with their ranged abilities, so I don't really care that I'm moving it. I'm trying to help and be useful. Okay, there we go. It's really good to keep the boss close to the center, because that way you manage to like spread out the clones equally distant from everyone, if that makes sense, or equally distant from the center. Okay, we managed to kill that. We're gonna go up there and get percent. Yes, thank you for the ping. I know I have failed percent before. Okay, phase blade's getting pulled. It ain't that serious, bud. You don't need to die for this. Are you good, bro? Like, it ain't that serious. Jesus Christ, what the hell was that about? Why did you pull like that? What the frick? You don't need to die for it. I can't keep up with you like that. I don't know how you got there so fast either, honestly. I was stuck in combat. I couldn't mount up. That was weird. It was like, must get mobs. Must tag them for tank. Tank don't know where to get mob. I do know, buddy. I do know. Don't worry about it. Holy shit, that was nerve-wracking. I didn't want him to die. Oh, wow. Okay. And there's the EcoDome Alani 2-star with this group. Love to see it. I was anxious about the shaman not having rating and clears and stuff, but in the end it all worked out. They did quite well. All right, and we got an incorporeal warp claw. I don't know, is this good on the on me because of the versatility stack? I have no idea. I'm gonna hit them with the if you guys want to see yourself blah 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 blah. See you around. And we're hearthing out, because the mages are slow to cast their thing, and we are done, friends. We are done with yet another tank. This time it's the Brewmaster. Every dungeon has been cleared at +10. I don't think this is my best performing tank. I am very beefy. It's very hard to kill me, but I also require some external healing because, I don't know, Brewmaster sustain is just like that, you know? You just kind of need help. Or maybe I'm just bad at it. I don't know, guys. But we got all the 10s done, so I'm happy with that. We end up with 2,630 rating. 6 out of the 8 10s are 2 stars, which is quite nice. But I think that speaks more to the damage that my groups have been able to do, less so the damage that I've been able to do or anything like that, or some crazy routing, because I'm doing very safe routing. Even though, honestly, like I said, that first pull in the Danny dungeon, I think this is just gonna have to change. I think we're just gonna not pull the things with mites. So we kind of just hug the right here is what we do. So let's actually work on that a little bit here. Let's get rid of these, and we're just gonna pull straight up everything here. This does look crazy and whatnot, but you're skipping obviously this mite. This is something we were already skipping. You're skipping this mite. You're skipping these 2 mites. So you're skipping 3 mites from the usual pull and 4 mites total. Unless you count these, then you're skipping even more mites, but you get what I mean. So 3 mites that we usually pull are being skipped. This guy's patrolling. I don't know if he's linked to anything. I don't think he is. Let's click him. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be linked to anything, but I feel like we don't really need him. He's 1.8%. and he's a big health bar. We already have 2 big health bars, so I don't think we need him. But now I need to make up another 9 or so % in the dungeon at other points in time. So one thing that I could do is on the boss fight, let me just remove this pull here. On the boss fight and the pull number 7, I could look to add this ritualist or these 2, or the far stalker and the phase blade. So I could click like this. That'll give me some % here. And I could also add another pull here, which is these guys and this rune stalker. And that actually gives me %. Now I might be able to drop this. No, I'm not able to drop this. So it's phase blade, far stalker, phase blade, ritualist. So ritualist is spamming bolts, and 2 far stalkers have a 20-second interrupt. So the range interrupts go to the far stalkers, melee handle, ritualist. That seems okay. Let me just select pull number 7 again, like I was going to, and there we go. Pull number 14 should, although, be adjusted to be around pull number 8, maybe before or after the boss. That all depends on whether or not we're going to be doing whatchamacallits, whether or not we'll have bloodlust for this pull. So I could skip, for instance, this group over here. I could pull them after the boss. This I could pull after the boss. These I'm obviously pulling with the boss. These 2 groups are the only ones I have to clear before we have to actually fight the boss because of this patrol. I didn't mean to click on that. I was just pointing at it anyway. So I have to clear pull number 5 and 6, and then I can go straight into boss if we have bloodlust ready for it at that point, because we might be bloodlusting this first pull, even though it's kind of safe, but just to get the timer for it, because first boss is very easy. There's no point in lusting the first boss. So this is looking pretty good. Again, you don't pull all of these into boss. What you do is you pull some of them into boss. And that kind of works out. So these 2 you grab at the start and you beat the shit out of them, probably with lust, because the ritualist is more annoying because he needs to sort of die quickly. Otherwise, the bolt spam might hit someone who's like in a javelin and getting charged by the boss or whatever, and it could just overwhelm if they don't pop a defensive or have a defensive for it. So that's something to look out for. You probably want to pull this group first, because that way you can secure that the ritualist dies quickly during the lust. And here, I'm kind of considering just not doing this sort of pull anymore. I feel like it's just not really working for me. I could drop this creeper right here. That leaves me without having enough % though. So I need to look at something else that I could pull that could make up that %. There's a thing that I've seen people do, which is they pull these gorgers because they're not linked to the sentinel. So you can pull just these gorgers. Yeah, see, when I add them, hold on. Let me just do pull number 3, and we're going to pull these guys into pull number 3, and that gives me % and then a little bit more, which is fine. I'm cool with that. Yeah, and we could drop this creeper that's all the way over here. What I could do is I can run up, grab these, run back to these, and we should be chilling. We're next to this Kareshi Surge thing. We can grab that and go into the next pull, which is kind of dangerous because we have the phase blades, we have the ritualist that we need to drag that people are not kicking, and then we have the pact speaker, which they are very dangerous no matter what. So yeah, I'm liking this route. It's pretty straightforward. There's very few places where I really have to be careful about people not pulling or anything like that. So I'm thinking this is pretty good. And this first pull is so much safer. I've seen Seeker do this. He says he saw Yoda do it. So there we go. Anyway, that's enough yapping about routing. That's something that the next tank has to worry about. Speaking of which, the next tank, you guys get to choose what it is. I'll be leveling it tomorrow in a whole day stream. So the way you get to choose what I level in the whole day stream is by going to the link at the top of the description and voting in the ranked poll. The way you vote is you drag your preferred option to the top, your less preferred option to the bottom, and then you click vote. Don't just click on something and click vote. You might be voting for something you don't want. A little heads up, I've been having issues with Twitch. I'm not 100% sure what is going on with it. I keep disconnecting randomly. YouTube works fine, so I don't know if it's a me issue or a Twitch issue, but I'll take a look into it and I'll try to solve it today, which is why there is no stream today. Today I'll be taking a day off just because I need to figure out and fix Twitch if I can. But that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, make sure you subscribe because there's more tanks coming. If you made it this far into the video, include the word ranged in your comment because I had 4 ranged and I kind of didn't know how to deal with it. If you do include the word ranged in your comment, I'll make sure to heart it when I see it. But as always, friends, thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you in the next series.